Hello everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at Aphelios, the Weapon of the Faithful. How this works is I'm first going to take a look at the biography and story for Aphelios that we have on the League of Legends website, and then we move on to see if there's any gameplay spotlights or previews, see if there's any cinematics for the champion, and then we usually move on to the skins, the wiki, and then we finally end up with the voice lines and interactions. Now during this deep dive, I really hope to hear from you guys in the comments, as I am somebody that does not play League of Legends myself. I'm just kind of diving into the lore and learning all about the world of League of Legends, and hopefully by the end of it, you guys end up liking and subscribing to the channel and enjoy what you watch. All right, let's finally get into it. All right, to be fair, I really know nothing about Aphelios. I have just been recommended it by comments from previous reactions, so we're going to be learning a whole lot, hopefully, from this reaction today. All right, so the Weapon of the Faithful, I have no idea what that is talking about. Our faith has proven fate each time we deny it. Alune. All right, role is marksman, region is Targon. Okay, so here we are. We're doing a Targon champion. I literally had no idea. I had no idea where we were going. And then related champions, we have Diana and Leona. Okay, so we're dealing with the Targonian stuff here. I see. Okay. Emerging from Moonlight's shadow with weapons drawn, Aphelios kills the enemies of his faith in brooding silence, speaking only through the certainty of his aim and the firing of each gun. Though fueled by a poison that renders him mute, he is guided by his sister Alune in her distant temple sanctuary, for where she pushes an arsenal of moonstone weapons back into his hands. For as long as the moon shines overhead, Aphelios will never be alone. Okay, so I'm assuming he's aligned with Diana because it's all moon stuff here, but I have no idea because I really don't know the whole, Diana, Leona lore whatsoever yet. I haven't even reacted to these two yet. So we are going to probably be a little out in the open on this reaction. And then wait a minute. Aphelios is mute. Am I going to have interactions? Well, okay. I actually took a look first to see if they existed, and they came out 3 years ago. So there's got to be something. All right, let's get into the biography. The moon looms over the towering slopes of Mount Targon, distant yet impossibly close. Born during a rare lunar convergence when the physical moon was eclipsed by its reflection in the spirit realm, Aphelios and his twin sister Alune were celebrated as children of destiny by those of Targon's Lunari faith. So the Lunari. Yeah, and okay, so twin sister. Interesting. Mirroring the celestial event that heralded their birth, the two children knew they had been marked by fate. Aphelios physically gifted like the moon of stone, and Alune magically like its spiritual reflection. Zealously devout, they grew up within a faith of mystery, reflection, and discovery, and embraced darkness not just out of belief, but as the only thing that could keep them safe. The Solari who ruled Targon considered the Lunari heretics, driving them into hiding until most forgot the Lunari even existed. The Lunari were left to the shadows, dwelling in temples and caves far from the Solaris' sight. Okay, so we are learning a little bit about the lore for the Lunari and the Solari. Very nice. The pressure to be exemplary weighed heavily upon Aphelios. He practiced tirelessly with mystical moonstone blades, spilling his own blood in training so he could spill that of others to protect the faith. Intense and vulnerable, he bonded deeply with his sister in lieu of any other friendships. While Aphelios was sent on increasingly dangerous missions to protect the Lunari, Alune trained separately as a seer, using her luminous magic to reveal hidden pathways and truths by the moon's light. In time, her tasks required her to leave the temple where they were raised. Without Alune, Aphelios' faith wavered. Desperate for purpose, he undertook a ceremonial journey into darkness where Lunari were said to discover their paths, their orbits. He followed the moon's light to a pool where rare noctum flowers bloomed beneath the water's surface. Though poisonous, the flowers could be distilled into a liquid that opened him to the night's power. This is a very, it's very mysterious kind of biography we have for the champion here. Drinking the noctum's essence, Aphelios felt so much pain that it numbed him to everything else. Soon after, an ancient temple, the Maris Omegnum, began to come into phase from the spirit realm for the first time in centuries. So soon after he did that, is it related? Lunari from across the mountain gathered, emerging from hiding to witness the balance of power shift as celestial cycles in the heavens turned. The fortress accepted only one occupant, gifted in magic, each time it appeared. This time it would be Alune, her orbit guiding her to the temple. Aphelios, usually asking for nothing, requested to attend the event. But as the fortress passed through the veil in a luminous display of magic, a harsher radiance filled the night. Somehow the Lunari had discovered even as the celestial cycles turned in their favor. An army of Solari descended upon them. All seemed lost, the Solari purging the Lunari heresy with fire and steel. Even Aphelios was beaten. His moonstone blade shattered on the ground, blood spilling from his lips as he reached for the noctum. Oh, okay, so the Solari are just coming in and taking out the Lunari because they came out of hiding to see this thing that Alune found. But as the battle raged, Alune traveled deeper into the temple, and when she reached its heart, her full potential unlocked. Through the Noctum, Aphelios could feel Alune's power embrace him, and he could hear her voice. With a whisper, she pushed magic into his hands, a replacement for his blade solidifying into Moonstone. Okay, so wait a minute. With a whisper, she pushed magic into his hands, a replacement for his blades into Moonstone. Okay. Like the moon of stone and its spiritual reflection, Aphelios' skill and Alune's magic converged. Those Solari would not live to see the sun again. Oh, wow, that's pretty crazy. I don't even know like what abilities or what weapon this guy has. So as her power flared, Alune pushed the temple and herself within, back into the spirit realm where it would remain safe from the Solari. From inside, amplified by the temple's focusing power, Alune was able to project her magic anywhere so long as it found a focus, like the poison coursing through Aphelios' veins. Only now did they understand their destiny. Aphelios would hollow himself out with pain, but would become a conduit for the moon's power. Alune would live alone, isolated in her fortress, but she would guide her brother, able to see through his eyes. This is really cool. Okay. Well, not cool. It's not a cool situation that they're in, but it's interesting. We have a sister trapped in a fortress, powering her brother, her twin brother, out in the normal world because of the poison coursing through him. It's, I don't know. I've never heard of anything like this before. Together, they would be the weapon the Lunari needed, bound by pain and sacrifice. Only apart could they be together, their souls brushing across the veil, distant, yet impossibly close, converging into something they could not understand. To protect the survivors of the attack who retreated back into the shadows of the mountain, Aphelios' training as an assassin has been given reach by Alune's magic. His blades now an arsenal of mystical weapons perfected by Alune over the course of many missions together. Now that the power of balance of Targon is shifting, and the Solari know the Lunari still endure, Aphelios and Alune are needed more than ever. Very cool. Okay, that is not... I mean, I had no idea what to expect. So, Aphelios is essentially the weapon of the faithful. This champion is Aphelios, but really his power is coming from his twin sister Alune, and he's fighting for the Lunari, which we don't know too much about the Lunari-Solari war or anything like that, but it's still basically he is the weapon of the Lunari because he is harnessing the power of the moon magic in this case. And yeah, it says Aphelios and Alune are needed more than ever. This is really cool. I don't know. We need to learn more, I guess. I need to know more about the Solari and Lunari, and maybe we'll get a little bit of that in the story. All right, so now we're reading the story, and it's called You Are the Weapon. And there's the sister. That's a really cool artwork that we have here. He started his training with a single breath, in and out. He could hear water dripping through a crack in the cave ceiling, dampening the stone floor until it gleamed against the darkness. He knew the holy patterns carved into the floor's stone, proclaiming destinies and orbits. Even when he closed his eyes, he could see each lunar arc. He made a few tentative swings with his blade. The moonstone felt solid in his hand, but remained ethereal as if it wasn't there. It was a magical remnant of the first convergence when the moon and its reflection in the spirit realm briefly touched across the celestial veil, and moonstone cast off by the union rained down on the world like tears. Following their orbits, the two moons were forced apart. Embracing his own orbit, Aphelios continued to train. His blade was now his breath, drawing faster and faster. His slashes followed arcs he had practiced for years until even he bled, training to the verge of self-destruction. Following his weapon, he twisted through the air. He slashed and parried each attack, flowing into the next. He closed his eyes so he would not need to see, would not remember everything he'd sacrificed to wield this weapon. Just this first couple paragraphs here makes Aphelios sound like such a really cool character, in my opinion. Aphelios, you see my face. My lip quivers, though my voice is firm. Aphelios, reflected in my eyes, you see. Okay, I'm assuming that's sister? Aphelios stumbled as his moonstone blade flashed red and an image of an outlander passed before him. A vision? A memory? How many times had he killed to not know for sure? The blade slipped from his hand, and Aphelios soon followed. Colliding against the floor with no weapon to lead him, losing grasp of his discipline. It had all come back, everything he pushed down. Every cut of his blade into his enemies cut even deeper into himself. Ooh. Alune, his sister, she'd reached across the veil. She'd shown him, but she'd been torn away. Aphelios pushed troubled words he would never say back into his throat. His fingers tightened into a fist, only for a moment, ready to strike against the orbits and destinies carved into stone. By hand shaking, he let go. As Aphelios stood and swept back his hair, he noticed the moon had risen. Its light shining onto a shrine he kept deeper in the temple, calling to him as it did whenever he was needed. It was time. His faith would be rewarded. The Lunari's power was growing, phasing across the celestial veil. A magic of spirit, of the secrets within, for all of his training. Aphelios could not channel the moon's power himself, but he would not need to. He carefully prepared Noctum flowers that he'd cultivated in the shrine's pool, pressing their essence into a caustic elixir, the liquid glowing faintly within the mortar bowl. He set aside his training blade and raised the bowl to the moon's light. Then, without hesitation, he pressed the flower's poison to his lips. So is this the first time that we're seeing him do the Noctum flower, or is this like another time? Like, does he has to periodically, like, you know, keep drinking the Noctum flower? I don't know. The agony is indescribable. The pain wraps around your throat. You cannot say anything at all. Everything burns. You convulse in misery. You retch and cough as the poison flows through you, opening you to the moon's power. To me. Aphelios, I whisper from my fortress, and my spirit brushes against yours. You sense my presence across the veil. You raise your hand, knowing that I am too far, that it is the pain you must hold on to. You close your hand around it. It becomes your weapon. I send it to you. Gravitum. Aphelios, I whisper, as I feel you cling to the poison that burns you away, knowing why you make this choice, what I ask you to sacrifice. Who is this talking? I can't tell if it's sister or if it's some other, is it like the moon power or something? I have no idea what's going on. With a final lung-racking grasp, Aphelios emerged from the cave temple into the night. His expression hardened as he fought back the retching agony, embracing it and leaving everything else behind him. Mount Targon loomed above and below the temple, stretching in both directions. The howling wind whipped up frozen wisps that shimmered as they faded, dancing with Aphelios' scarf and buffeting his cloak. The light of the moon shone higher still. It would guide him. It was her light, shining through the moons. I'm assuming sister? She'd given him what he needed. Gravitum was more than a moonstone blade. Okay, so that's the name of the actual weapon that he uses. In training, he had slashed, stabbed, twirled. To use this weapon, he would do the same, but his reach would be much greater. A simple thrust would unleash its power, his skill and her magic converging. Okay, I already like the whole, power up that Aphelios is getting. It's a very cool origin story for him. Firing the cannon's black orbs toward a floating rock that was suspended by the Targon's heavenly magic, Gravitum's power slowly drew the island down. Okay, hold on. So firing the cannon's black orbs toward a floating rock that was suspended by Targon's heavenly magic. So wait, his weapon has the power to slowly, it can pull things from really far, with a lot of strength. With a single leap, Aphelios began running atop the island, his boots casting small drifts of snow into the abyss. Each orb he fired drew another rock close, the floating monoliths colliding behind him as he leapt from one to the next, swiftly scaling a mountain that would take most people days to climb if they attempted to climb at all. Okay, we're going to have to, when we get to the gameplay spotlight, I'm assuming we're going to see how powerful Aphelios actually is, because right now, I feel like I don't truly know his power level. I'm just, seeing words, right? I haven't actually seen him in-game whatsoever, so I have to see his gameplay. Only the Solari and those who sought power held vigil here. He passed their settlements below, each quiet and ignorant of the night. For years, he had wondered how Solari zealots could deny his faith's existence, walking their paths to follow the sun, fearing darkness that only Lunari dared face. But his destiny was clear. The zealots would be revealed by the moon's light. Aphelios leapt to a final island of stone and paused above a snowy clearing where a party of Solari had gathered, their weapons blazing. Burning ones, the Lunari called them. By night, they scorched out heretics of the moon. By day, their priests denied there was anything but sun. Beneath dark hoods, their faces were hidden by flame as impersonal as their judgment. They had surrounded a barbarian cloaked in crimson and steel, the outlander he'd seen in his vision. The moonlight stopped into this clearing. It stopped at the barbarian's feet. Okay, who is the barbarian? This is another champion, or is this just some random character we don't know? And also, is Aphelios about to take out this whole, camp of burning ones? Aphelios, I say again, I whisper it to your soul and gather my magic, knowing the only words you want to hear. I am with you. Okay, it has to be sister. Aphelios dived off the rock island and plummeted into battle, the burning one's weapons blazing all the brighter as Gravitum's darkness spread among them. Crying out in alarm, the Solari turned to fight, but found themselves bound to the ground by a black orb. Aphelios dropped the cannon, and a new weapon appeared in his hand. Oh. Okay, so he's using Gravitum's black orbs. I think I've seen Aphelios with these little black orbs. So he's using all the black orbs to, put them onto the ground and bind them there. That's crazy. Severum, I whisper. Oh, wait, he's getting another weapon? The other one was called Gravitum. Is this another one called Severum? Landing from his descent without looking away from his enemies' burning faces, Aphelios slashed behind him with Severum, the crescent pistol's beam tearing through the island of stone. Terrified, the burning ones could only watch as massive slabs slammed down among them, cut loose by the energy of the waning moon. The survivors quickly spread across the clearing, lashing at Aphelios with their molten spears. Weaving between the blows, Aphelios continued to slash with Severum and reaching out with his free hand to grasp one more weapon as it passed through the veil, knowing it would be there. Okay, we're getting another one called Crescendum, I say to the night. With a soaring arc, Crescendum cut through the throats of the remaining Solari in the clearing, Aphelios catching the moonstone blade as it twisted around and returned to his hand. In seconds, it was over. So my guess, I'm totally guessing here, my guess when we go to the gameplay spotlight is he's going to have 3 different abilities based on the 3 different weapons that he has, right? Or that he can change instantly. The barbarian stands before you. He looks up gratefully. Beside him, what the Burning One saw, a scimitar curved like the moon. He opens his mouth to thank you, but he sees your expression twist, though you try to hide it. You fight the fear, punching your shoulder where the Burning One's spears cut through your cloak, trying to remember the pain, reaching for it. You don't want to kill him, but you must. Your face is too numb for you to feel the tears. Instead, you feel mine. Aphelios, I say one last time, forcing my voice through the veil. There is a dizzying rush as our orbits bring us together. Through your eyes, I see what moonlight reveals around the scimitar, why it was abandoned. She is running. We must find her. Okay, this is a little confusing. Wait, is the barbarian running? Is the barbarian a female barbarian? We must find her. Who's this talking about? I'm totally confused. Crimson-clad barbarian lay in the snow among the Solari. No. Who is this? She is running. We must find her. Who is that talking about? With a gasp, Aphelios fell to his knees. He glanced up at the moon, listening for a whisper only he could hear. His expression dulled again. Without a word, he picked up the scimitar and walked into the night. This was a cool story. I got to see what Aphelios is capable of against, a bunch of Solari soldiers. Totally really strong. And obviously with the title of the story being called You Are the Weapon, he's clearly, and from the biography, we understood that too. He is the weapon for the Lunari. And it's him and his sister that are like essentially one. Well, she's helping him, really. But yeah, they just create like this really powerful weapon for the Lunari. It's really cool. I'm a little confused on some of this stuff here. I'm assuming the italicized font is the sister speaking to him. But yeah, there's a lot here that I want to learn about Aphelios that I feel like we might learn a little bit more when we go to the wiki page, I'm hoping. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. We have to do the gameplay spotlight. And then we're going to check out his gameplay preview and then see if there's any other cinematics that he might be in. I don't know if there is. And then, of course, we're going to do the skins, the Fandom Wiki, and then the voice lines. All right, everybody, this is the Aphelios Champion trailer. First thing that came out for him, 50 seconds long. Is he sipping some tea? Oh, this is him when he, the powder stuff. Okay. Whoa. 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 Whoa, that one was cool. There's that black orb that was described to me. Wait, okay, so way more than 3 weapons. 5. Very cool trailer there for him. That was actually pretty badass, to be honest. And I'm wondering if we got like a little hint of his theme in there for that video. All right, let's go ahead and find out what his gameplay is all about now. All right, let's go ahead and get into the champion spotlight. I'm excited. So he's got 5 weapons.
Lunari warrior, Aphelios consumes a poison to channel the voice of his sister, Alune. She guides him from her sanctuary, sending him a powerful array of moonstone weapons to destroy the enemies of their faith. A high-strategy marksman with access to a massive arsenal, Aphelios takes the game you know and shoots it over the moon.
Whoa.
Patience is key to master the weapon of the faithful.
Okay.
Welcome to the Aphelios Champion Spotlight.
I want to see how he incorporates all the weapons.
Aphelios has access to 5 different weapons,
each
with a different passive and active ability.
Oh,
There's
what?
Calibrum, the sniper rifle.
Okay.
Severum, the scythe pistol. Gravitum, the gravity cannon.
Okay.
Infernum, the flamethrower. And Crescendum, the chakram.
Okay.
2 weapons are equipped at
all right, you guys already know, like, off the bat, I have to ask which one is, like, they're going to be ones that are better, straight up.
Given time, a main hand and offhand. Each
main hand and offhand.
Ammo consumed via basic attacks and active abilities. When one runs out of ammo, the next gun in his arsenal replaces it, sending the exhausted weapon to the back of the line.
Whoa.
Aphelios has a uniquely designed HUD, which displays his currently equipped weapons, how much ammo they have, and their corresponding active abilities. Use W to switch between your main hand and offhand weapons.
Okay.
The HUD also shows you a glimpse of the next weapon Alune will send once a weapon runs out of ammo.
Wow.
Consider your current arsenal and ammo before you begin a fight, so you can use the best combos for any situation. Let's take a closer look at each moonstone weapon. Calibrum, the sniper rifle, is best for long-range poke and harass.
Okay.
Who would have thought?
Right.
Its active ability is a skill shot that marks its target.
Wow, the range
Once
on that.
marked, the enemy is revealed, and Aphelios can follow up with its offhand weapon from any distance.
What?
If there are multiple marked enemies in an area, Aphelios can target one to deal bonus damage, consuming all nearby marks.
Wow, that's
Whether
really cool.
in the main hand or offhand, any damage-dealing ability will apply the mark as well. Severum the Scythe Pistol restores health with each attack.
That looks fun.
This effect can overheal, granting Aphelios a small shield.
We like an overheal.
Severum's active ability boosts movement speed and rapidly fires both his main and offhand weapons at
Whoa,
any
that looks
nearby
really
enemy.
cool. I like that.
Remember, this also applies the passive from his offhand weapon. Oh, hi, Mark. Gravitum, the gravity
Did he just do an oh hi mark?
cannon, applies a decaying slow on each hit.
Oh, there's the black orbs. There we go, from the gravitum.
Gravitum's active ability damages and roots all enemies affected by the slow.
Oh, that's
this
cool.
This ability doesn't use his offhand weapon.
Oh, okay.
Infernum, the flamethrower, blasts enemies with a damaging area of effect. Each shot deals bonus damage and explodes in a cone. If your attack crits, the area of the flame widens.
Oh, it goes bigger, yeah.
Infernum's active ability spouts a
Whoa,
wave
look at
of
that.
flame, which triggers the offhand gun to basic attack all affected foes.
Oh, wow. It just triggers
Crescendum,
automatically.
The Chakram is a close-range weapon that behaves like a boomerang. You can't attack again until the Chakram swings back around. So the closer you stand, the quicker you attack.
Right, fair enough.
Critical strikes make the Chakram return even faster.
Whoa, look how
so
fast
correct
that's going.
build and positioning can provide absurd DPS.
Yeah.
While Crescendum is in your offhand, landing any ability other than with Gravitum will store mini Chakrams. They deal bonus damage when auto-attacking with Crescendum.
That's got to be one of the best ones, right?
Crescendum's active ability creates a turret trap that activates to
What?
shoot the nearest target with your offhand weapon.
Okay, yeah, that's
Apply
got to
its
be the best
passive.
weapon.
This turret
Crescendum.
will also benefit from any attack speed and crit that Aphelios has built. Looks like Leona's feeling the gravity of this
So
situation.
yeah, there's got to be like a best combo there with the offhand and the main hand, like between the 5 weapons. You guys let me know.
Aphelios' ultimate, Moonlight Vigil, fires a missile that explodes on contact. He then
Ooh.
applies an enhanced passive from his main hand weapon.
Okay.
Muse about the power of a supermassive black hole from the gravity cannon.
Oh, that's cool.
Or
Slows
a
him
surprise
down.
flamethrower with tons of damage. Think wisely about how your weapon can change the flow of the fight.
Yeah, you got a lot of
Always got 2
versatility.
options. Maybe more if you can empty your clip in time.
He's got to have some sort of downside, I would imagine, though.
Different weapon combos each have their strengths, allowing for different playstyles.
Mm-hmm.
Aphelios always starts with a sniper rifle and scythe pistol, which
Okay.
grants him solid poke and sustain during the waning phase. By mid-game, using the flamethrower on main hand and the gravity cannon on offhand can help you set up ganks by spraying foes with fire.
Dang,
and
look at
rooting them in
that.
place.
That was cool.
Now
Okay,
let's take a
so
look at a
you're going to
Baron
want to
fight
change when, like, depending on early game, mid game, or late game. That's kind of what the deal is,
and how
huh?
Aphelios would approach it differently based on his active arsenal.
Okay, let's see this.
Say you hit the Baron Pit with the scythe pistol in the main hand and Chakram in the offhand.
Okay.
The pistol's active ability provides Aphelios with extra mobility to stay alive and kite. The Chakram in the offhand builds mini Chakrams so you can swap weapons and deal heavy damage afterwards.
Wow.
But what if you came to the fight with a different set of weapons? Equip the gravity cannon in the main hand with the offhand flamethrower, and Aphelios can start the fight on his own terms. His ult applies the gravity cannon's passive slow to the enemy team, using his active ability to root them, allowing him to swap to the flamethrower.
That's a good
and
way to go
incinerate.
in and start.
Or take
for
it
sure.
one more time with the sniper rifle in the main hand and the gravity cannon in the offhand.
Okay, how would
This
you
setup
approach
lets Aphelios
this?
ult into the enemy team, marking them all. Aphelios can then use the sniper's active ability to poke and mark the enemy team as they run. With the offhand gravity cannon, he can apply the passive slow, then swap in and root them with its active.
So good. So
With
much
many
versatility to
styles
this
of
character.
combat, Aphelios
Yeah.
rewards players with high game knowledge and strategic patience. Learn the best combos and when to use them so you can showcase your galaxy brain.
Your galaxy brain. Okay, so
Don't be phased by the sky-high skill ceiling.
Yeah.
This lunatic is a challenge to learn, but fulfilling to master.
that's what I was
For
going to say.
illumination on Aphelios and his weapons, check out the
Oh.
links below.
I like that skin. Whoa, that skin's really cool. I'm excited to see his skins. Okay, yeah, 1000%. That's exactly what I was going to say. Basically is super high skill ceiling, not going to be an easy character to learn. He's got 5 different weapons that you need to kind of learn, play styles to learn. He's got a lot of different strategies to him. So it's like a lot of stuff that you need to learn. you need to be very familiar with the game, right? Before you're going to want to use Aphelios. All right, I definitely want to hear from any of the Aphelios users in the comments. Please let me know how you like Aphelios in the game, if he's been meta, how good is he, things like that. If any pros like to use him, you know, just give me all the deets on that kind of stuff, because he seems super cool lore-wise with all these freaking weapons, but he's definitely going to be a harder character to use, especially like for me, somebody that would be new to the game. All right, everybody, I'm always excited for the Riot themes, the champion themes. This is always an exciting part for me because I always think they knock it out of the ballpark. This one is a little different. It actually features somebody, Laura Vol. Hopefully I'm getting that last name correct. I'm assuming it's going to be the sister maybe singing, and that's who the you know, the voices here, but I have no idea. This one's 4 minutes long, so it's also a little bit on the longer side. Let's go ahead and listen. Oh. Ooh, okay. The bass coming in, and the voice is already beautiful. Hold on, this song's crazy already. Brace the fear inside. Wow. Dude, this song is crazy already. Dude, her voice is incredible. Ooh. It went a little sinister there. Okay, we're getting a drop and everything. This song should have been in like a full-on Aphelios cinematic, I feel like, instead of just this theme video. Let me, can I put closed captions? Nope. This is already getting added to the playlist. Feel the warmth. We're getting back to the chorus here. I like what she does with her voice there before the drop. Dude, this one actually might be one of my faves because it's kind of like my music style that I kind of like listening to when I'm gaming and stuff. Ooh, we got a little bit of an interesting instrument in the back there. Dreams we feel. I see we have the scythe pistol here, yeah? This has a good beat to it, too. All right, we're getting the slow down part. Ooh, listen to that. Soon you'll be set truly free from all those chains. Bear. Wow. I need a little bit more detail on the lyrics, maybe, to maybe what they truly mean in the song. They got to be important if they're gonna have like somebody actually singing for a champion's theme, you know. Oh, you hear the strings getting in there louder now. I'm surprised none of you have mentioned this theme to me. Whenever I've mentioned other themes being my faves, like this one's really good. Wow. Guys, that one... Obviously, I haven't listened to everybody's theme, but this one's instantly up there. Again, it's more probably personal preference because this is my kind of like musical style that I like to listen to. All right, yeah, that's it. This was great. Yeah. So Laura Vol, I think is her name. So she did a great job. And then like I really enjoyed, she changed her, I don't know the musical terms and everything, but like her voice would get a little bit, I'll say sinister right before the drop. I thought it was really well done. And the bass and the beat and everything was really cool. And then the strings got a little bit stronger there towards the end. Like I started to hear them towards the middle, and then towards the last part there, they got definitely a lot stronger. This one is probably going to be in my top themes for now. I don't know. Like, again, I've always mentioned Camille's theme. I liked Jin's theme. There's a couple that I can't come up with off the top of my head right now, but Aphelios, this theme is up there. I know this is a little bit more recent, right? So he's only like 3-ish years old. So, you know, they've a little bit modernized their champion themes. They kind of have like a rhythm with what the themes are nowadays, instead of like some of the older ones aren't so like, they're a little bit shorter and not my style, but this is definitely my style. I loved Aphelios' theme. I would say it's probably in my top 5 themes, to be honest with you guys. All right, of course, everybody, Aphelios isn't a very old champion, only about 3 years old, so there's only 5 skins, at least according to Fandom. I think I've been told sometimes the Fandom doesn't have all the skins, but this is, yeah, this character is not all that old, so let's go ahead and check out the skins. Of course, we have the original. The original is really fine to me, in my honest opinion. I really love, like, the jacket, I guess you want to call it, and just, like, the jeans and the jacket. They look really cool, in my opinion. But let's see what else we have. All right, this one is called Nightbringer. We are definitely going to need to look. I saw this one, I believe, in the champion spotlight, but let's take a look at the 3D models here. Yeah, this one's pretty good. I like it. It's honestly kind of like a dark lord version of Aphelios almost, right? I think that one's a really good one. Let's go ahead and move on to the next. We have Lunar Beast. Okay, so this was during the Lunar event. It looks like this was in 2021. So the Lunar event was pretty cool, I imagine. All right, the 3D models. Oh, it's only showing the one. That's interesting. Oh, I have to like click through these. Yeah, I mean, this is cool. It shows off his the sniper. I forget all of the names already of the weapons. I think it's down here. Calibrum, is that the sniper one? Yeah, the Calibrum. Yeah, I think the sniper looks really cool here. And then the colors, just the color aesthetic is really cool. And then, you know, he still has like the really cool jacket with like the cape almost. Next we have, the EDG ones. I really like the EDG ones because I think I chose, for my top 3 for Zoe, I chose this EDG skin because I really liked it. So this is him right here, yeah? Yeah, ooh, EDG is going to have to be in. This looks really sick in my opinion. EDG is going to go in my top 3. I mean, there's only 5 skins here, but definitely that one. And then we have Spirit Blossom. Okay, they've done Spirit Blossom for probably like almost everybody at this point, right? I mean, I'm sure there's a bunch that don't have a Spirit Blossom skin, but still, it almost seems like they've done one for everybody. Spirit Blossom is cool too. Yeah, he's still got the, you know, the jacket aesthetic and everything like that. I think, okay, yeah. I mean, the original, again, like I said, it's really cool. But I think the only one that we're not going to keep is the Lunar one. So in terms of like my top 3 skins, I'm going to say the Nightbringer one because it is a little bit different. It doesn't have like the actual jacket, and it's like a darker version of him. And then we'll do the EDG and the Spirit Blossom as my top 3 skins. These are really cool. I think his whole aesthetic is just awesome in my opinion. Like every skin makes him look like a badass. I mean, he's probably just a badass, right? Okay, and then there's a little bit of interesting trivia down here. So, of course, this is the trivia not related to lore. This is like trivia within like the game, or there is sometimes included like lore a little bit in here. So it says Aphelios means furthest from the sun. I didn't know that. It comes from Greek apo, meaning far apart / away, and Helios is the Titan god of the sun, the latter element being shared with Aurelian's soul. Okay. In astronomy, aphelion means the point in the orbit of an object where it is farthest from the sun, also having the same origin. Okay, so furthest from the sun is essentially his name, which makes sense since he's like a Lunari person, right? That's very cool, actually, that they did that. His sister's name, Alune, is possibly based on the Latin Luna, which shares the same pi root of Luke, which is Lux, and Lucian. That one might be a little bit of a stretch. I have no idea. Aphelios and Alune are possibly inspired by the sun and moon twins from Indo-European mythology, albeit that both twins belong to the Lunari order. Yeah, I was going to say these both are part of the Lunari in that sense, though. Aphelios is the first champion that has less than 4 abilities. Did I not even realize that? I did not even realize that when we were doing the champion spotlight. A unique HUD is used due to the unorthodox arrangement of his kit. Yep. Aphelios has a game start ceremony that forces him in place. I don't know what that's all about. Maybe we'll see it in the special interactions or something. I don't know. Aphelios is the only champion in League of Legends who can obtain the highest amount of lethality. Since Aphelios can hold 2 weapons at a time with the Hitman and the Seer, there are 10 different possible combinations of weapons he can have equipped. Okay, right. And I already knew that. I was going to say, like, he can have all these different combinations with the weapons, and I was asking you guys during the spotlight, like, which ones are the best, right? And then it says Aphelios was associated with the meme known as 200 years that stemmed from a champion designer's controversial comments regarding game design experience. That video came up in my recommended feed when we were looking up Aphelios videos. So what is this meme? Despite the comment being in response to a conversation about Wukong, the meme has been affiliated with Aphelios because the comment was made shortly after Aphelios' release because of his kit's complexity and because the first iteration of his design possessed too much power. Oh, the first iteration of his design possessed too much power. So what is this 200 years meme? You guys in the League community are going to have to let me know about that one. All right, and now, of course, we're going to check out his Fandom Wiki. We did skip a little bit of stuff, which is just like repeat from the biography and story, but we're going to start off with modern history, recent events, and then we'll just do the remainder here at the bottom. So for modern history, it says, in order to protect the faithful Lunari from oppression, the twins would go on many missions together, combining their newfound abilities as Aphelios' assassin training was complemented by Alune's guidance and magical assistance. Over the course of their many missions, Alune would perfect the arsenal of weapons she provided her brother, each weapon being uniquely tied to a spiritual creature within the Maris Omegnum. Oh, I didn't know it was tied to a spiritual creature. On most of their missions, Aphelios would be sent by his sister to assassinate many Solari targets who threatened their people. One of these targets would be a talented sun forger who enchanted Solari weapons with the power of the sun, who Aphelios would assassinate under the cover of night. Recent events. Preparing in a cave temple for an upcoming mission, Aphelios felt his sister comforting him from the spirit realm, sharing his senses and sending him visions of the past and of his next target, a mysterious barbarian from outside of Mount Targon. After drinking the poisonous Noctum flower and numbing his body, he felt Alune's presence as she summoned Gravitum in his hands. Okay, we do know this one because this is from the story that we read. Emerging out of the cave, Aphelios scaled the mountain guided by his sister and utilizing his gravity canyon to draw floating islands towards himself. Finally reaching his destination at the side of the mountain, Aphelios witnessed a group of Solari warriors, infamously known as Burning Ones, surrounding the same outsider he saw in his visions. After successfully killing the Solari with Severum and Crescendum, the barbarian outsider thanks Aphelios for saving him from the Solari warriors. Aphelios, though, unwillingly is forced to kill the man as part of his mission to retrieve a mysterious scimitar stolen by the barbarian. When I hover over the scimitar, it just says Moon Silver Blade. And is that Diana's silver blade, maybe? Now, fully realizing what the weapon is, Alune states that the scimitar's owner, yeah, so it is Diana's, is fleeing from something, though unsure of what she is running from. They know that, okay, so that's who they were referencing, it's Diana. They know that their next mission is to locate her and bring her back to the Lunari people. Aphelios, intent on completing his mission, walks into the night with the crescent blade in hand. Oh, okay. So I don't know anything about Diana, so currently she's on the run, huh? And we're trying to bring her back. Appearance. Aphelios is a thin man with pale skin and dark hair. He wears elegant, sacred clothing with large shoulders and a deep collar with a distinctive palette of black, gray, and turquoise. Hanging around his neck is a notable bright scarf made of a very silky turquoise metal etched with markings of the Lunari. The most distinctive ornament he has is the Targonian gold necklace with the symbol of the moon on it hanging below his neck. Aphelios' face has markings and makeup resembling more moon iconography that is common with the Lunari faith, most notably a circular marking across his whole face that correlates with the markings on his sister's face as well. Okay. Personality. Aphelios is an incredibly enigmatic person, but he is unwaveringly faithful to his people and protective of his only true bond, his twin sister. In the past, he was an extreme loner and rarely engaged in any social interactions or events with anyone other than his twin sister Alune. After being separated, Aphelios grew so sorrowful and purposeless that he embarked on a spiritual journey to find his own orbit in the universe, leading to the discovery of the Noctum flowers. After becoming an honored agent for the Lunari, Aphelios remained extremely faithful and eternally loyal to not only his sister, but to his Lunari faith as well, following its beliefs almost blindingly. Though he mourns the pain he endures and causes in his duties, he is comforted by his sister and reminded that everything he must do is in service to protecting his people from the oppressions of the Solari. Now, I'm wondering, see, like, we haven't really dived into the beliefs of the Lunari and the beliefs of the Solari, like, fully. Do we know if either of them are correct or, like, I don't know any of that stuff. I feel like I'm possibly missing out on some stuff here. Oh, wow, the abilities page is absolutely massive. Assassin Combat Mastery. At birth, Aphelios was gifted with physical prowess representative of the physical moon, having a talent in strength and acrobatics. At a young age, Aphelios underwent intense and gruesome training with moonstone blades to the point of spilling his own blood, further honing his skills in assassination. With the essence of the poisonous Noctum flowers, Aphelios could numb his own body and become almost immune to all the pain at the cost of muting himself. Telepathic connection. Thanks to his spiritual connection to his twin sister, Aphelios is telepathically connected to Alune, through the numbing poison of the Noctum flowers. Aphelios can become a physical conduit for his sister's powers, becoming capable of hearing her voice from within the Magnus Omegnum and sharing their senses together. Through their connection, Alune offers her brother both comfort and guidance throughout their many missions. Yeah, it's a very interesting bond that him and his twin sister have. Through his magical connection to his twin sister, Alune, Aphelios has provided a powerful arsenal of moonstone weapons summoned from the Maris Omegnum. These weapons have magical attributes and are each uniquely tied to a spiritual creature revered to within the temple fortress. Through many missions together, Aphelios has managed to master each and every one of these weapons, while Alune has mastered her ability to summon and perfect which weapons to provide for him. Though Aphelios is incapable of summoning the weapons himself due to their connections to the Maris Omegnum, he trusts completely in his sister for guiding him and providing him the correct weapon for each mission. Yeah, okay, and then we're getting a little description of each weapon here. The sniper rifle mastery. Aphelios has mastered the moonstone weapon Calibrum, a sniper rifle capable of shooting bolts of energy at extremely far distances with extreme precision. This weapon is heavily tied to the flight. Okay, it's a Runeterra card. A spiritual creature revered in the Magnus Omegnum that resembles a crane. Oh, okay, this is cool. We're going to get like the Runeterra cards for each weapon. Scythe Pistol Mastery. Aphelios has mastered the moonstone weapon Severum, a unique scythe pistol capable of slashing at targets with energy from a short distance, draining life out of their bodies. This weapon is heavily tied to the Fangs, a spiritual creature revered in the Magnus Omegnum that resembles a saber-toothed tiger. Aphelios has mastered the moonstone weapon Gravitum, a unique gravity cannon capable of shooting giant orbs capable of manipulating gravity. Aphelios can control these orbs to pull in enemies, weigh them down to the floor, or even pull large objects towards himself. This weapon is heavily tied to the Cloven Way. Okay. A spiritual creature revered in the Magnus Omegnum that resembles a ram. Then we have Aphelios has mastered the moonstone weapon Infernum, a flamethrower that fires waves of intensely hot blue flames in a large area. This weapon is heavily tied to the Winding Light. Spiritual creature revered that resembles a salamander. Aphelios has mastered the moonstone weapon Severum, a chakram blade that can be thrown at targets and returned to his hand. This chakram can be multiplied into many smaller chakrams that Aphelios can also control, capable of throwing at least a dozen of them at a singular target. Aphelios is also able to throw one of his chakrams at the ground, equipping it with another one of his moonstone weapons and turning it into an automated turret device. Right, that's a really cool ability. This weapon is heavily tied to the Sky Shadows. Two spiritual creatures revered in the Magnus Omegnum that resemble koi fishes. Ah, koi fishes. That's a very interesting one. Okay. Oh, we got a little bit of relationship with the Lunari, Alune, Diana. Okay, we got some stuff here. All right, with the Lunari, it says, Aphelios and his twin sister were born with the Lunari faith during a rare convergence of the physical and spiritual moons, marking their births as significant and hailing them as children of destiny. Aphelios was a very devout follower to the Lunari, going through gruesome assassination training in his hope to protect them when threats against his people would arise. Despite this, he was infamously known for almost never socializing with anyone other than his sister. After the arrival of the Maris Omegnum, a major power shift from the heavens has begun to occur and cause an arising conflict between the Lunari and the rivaling Solari. Oh, okay. Communing with his sister from the spirit realm and equipped with an arsenal of moonstone weapons, Aphelios now faithfully serves as the weapon to protect the Lunari, assassinating key targets and defending his people from dangers. All right, so then we have the Alune relationship, which is a lot here. I don't know if I want to read it. Let me skim it. Yeah, so the Alune stuff is a lot of just repeat of like everything we kind of already know about him and his twin sister. So we are going to skip it. So then we have Diana. Though Aphelios has never met Diana in person, she is the current aspect of the moon, serving as a physical embodiment of the deity that the Lunari pray to. Oh, that's what Diana represents. She's the aspect of the moon. Currently, Alune has been granted visions that require her and Aphelios to seek out and locate Diana for an unknown reason. On their most recent mission, Aphelios managed to locate Diana's crescent blade, which had been left on the mountain and in the hands of a barbarian who Aphelios had to assassinate. The twins are aware that Diana is out there running from something, but are attempting to figure out why and locate her. I mean, are they running from Leona, maybe? Or is she running from Leona? I have no idea. All right, so relationship with the Solari. As members of the Lunari, Aphelios and his sister are constantly persecuted by the Solari faith for heresy against their religion. The Solari serve as the main targets of Aphelios' mission to protect his people, having trained to assassinate and fight Solari that would threaten the Lunari even further. During the event of the Maris Omegnum's emergence in the physical realm, a group of Solari warriors discovered and attacked the gathered Lunari, ultimately leading to Alune and Aphelios combining their abilities to kill them. In his most recent mission, Aphelios and Alune located a group of Solari warriors infamously called Burning Ones, surrounding a key target of theirs, a barbarian holding the scimitar that formerly belonged to Diana. Right. Okay, we have a relationship with Yuumi here. Though Aphelios never met Yuumi, Alune mentions that she is often visited by her from within the Maris Omegnum due to it being located within the spirit realm. Alune greatly appreciates Yumi's visits as she often gets lonely without her brother and sometimes mentions her when speaking to Aphelios. Oh, very cool. She gets visited by a magical cat. Very nice. All right, some notes here. Aphelios is not born mute. He can speak when not under the influence of the Noctum essence. Unfortunately, he can only connect with Alune after drinking the Noctum, rendering him mute. Oh, okay. Alune is not dead. She's just residing within the spirit realm, right? She is not a ghost. Her ethereal appearance in the physical realm, a lunar projection of her. And then just a tiny bit of trivia. Aphelios' weapons are made of moon silver, the same material that Diana's blade is made out of, and moonstone, which is what Nami is currently looking for. Okay, we don't know anything about Nami, but Nami is currently looking for moonstone. Moonsilver is a silver metal forged in moonlight and imbued with a small amount of the moon's magic. Moonstone is material that broke off of the moon and after falling onto Runeterra has embedded itself into Mount Targon and retains its magical potency. Alune spends most of her time in the spirit realm meditating and scrying the future. Alune loves to explore and see beauty and wonder. She sees the world through the temple's projections and through the eyes of her brother. All right, yeah. I mean, there's not like too much more, I would say, that we're really learning from the fandom. You kind of already get a full sense of this character, I will say. Maybe we'll learn. I definitely want to see their interactions with other characters and champions, if that's even going to be like a major thing in this. But, you know, we got the twin brother-sister. She resides in the spirit realm and gives him power whenever he inhales the Noctum flower stuff. And he is the weapon for the Lunari, defending his Lunari people from the Solari. I mean, that's essentially like a recap of all of Aphelios' story. And then, you know, Alune's giving him these cool 5 weapons. He's just like a cool weapon for this religious faith of the Lunari. And what I really need to learn more about is the Lunari and Solari in general. A lot of you, I would say, haven't even really mentioned it to me, but that's probably because I haven't really done any Targonian, you know, related champions just yet. So I think what will be most helpful for me in the comments is you guys kind of like doing a little explanation or something of like the origins of the Solari or the origins of Lunari and like why they're at battle with each other. And just, I mean, I guess that would be a major freaking huge post. But I just need to know a little bit more about these two religious beliefs, you know? All right, everybody, here we finally go. We're going to do the Legends of Runeterra card interactions for Aphelios and Alune.
A new moon
okay, here we go.
Rises.
Our aspect will bring darkness to our enemies.
Whoa. Okay.
Find your own light within the darkness.
I'm yours, Aphelios, and
So-
you are mine.
So, right, Alune talks through him because he is unable to speak when he has, you know, had the Noctum flower. Okay.
Daylight breaks on the battlefield.
Your heart's pounding, Fel. I remember too.
Fell? Is that Leona's
The
nickname
dawn
or something?
has arrived.
And with it, oppression.
Alune sounds weird, I have to say.
Our sun will not set today.
See to it that his does, brother.
I'm assuming it's because she's speaking from the
Daylight
spirit realm
everlasting.
and like speaking through
With
Aphelios.
him, we begin our righteous path, Aphelios.
Very interesting. So she is responding, but she's also just speaking to
Find peace in the
Aphelios
quiet,
mostly.
Fel. It's just us.
Oh, I'm an idiot. Fel is literally in Aphelios' name. Okay.
Moonlight has illuminated their fate, Aphelios.
Yeah, Fel is just her little, you know, a nickname for her brother.
Keep faith, Aphelios, and we will find our peace. Through unwavering faith, the moon is born anew.
I'm wondering now in the future if like, I know he's not technically a mute, right? They've mentioned it a couple times. He's not technically a mute, but I'm wondering if there will ever be a time where he actually ends up speaking.
Now, Fel, feel the moonlight's warmth. Do not fear, Aphelios. I'm with you.
Yeah, so a lot of these voice lines are like kind of the sister just like
The
taking
sun
care
will
of him
set, and we will rise again, brother.
and just like being there for him. It's a good sister.
Years take.
All right, that's all we get for Legends of Runeterra. It was only like about a minute or so long, a minute and a half long. Yeah, I would say a lot of it. Obviously, we had, interactions with some of the, the Solari and Leona here, and a little bit with Diana. But yeah, it was mostly just Alune speaking to Aphelios. We learned that she calls him Fel for short, which is pretty cool. I don't know if that was ever mentioned in anything. And yeah, so she's really there for her brother, and she's like, they're kind of like hand in hand. She's speaking for him, or she's just like in his head, just making sure he stays calm and just kind of helping him with everything. It's really cool. But I definitely want to see what we get for special interactions in the game. So hopefully those are a little bit longer. All right, and of course we do have the skin spotlights video for the special interactions, and they are about 11 minutes long. So hopefully we get some good stuff in here.
Yumi is much friendlier when she visits me in the spirit realm, snuggling at my feet while I read book and imagine the rain.
Oh, that's nice. So there's the confirmation of Yumi visiting her in the spirit realm, which was mentioned in the fandom. Very cool.
To become a vessel for the heavens, one only needs faith.
Devout.
The greatest power is the power greater than ourselves.
All right, that makes sense.
Our aspect has returned, bringing darkness.
Okay, and then this is the blade, right, that we were trying to return to Diana. Bringing darkness, though.
Diana knows the moon's name, Aphelios. I can feel it on her heart.
I like her voice. It's different.
The aspect of the moon. What is she fleeing?
That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. Wow. Okay.
What do they hold?
Gun
if they
wielder.
only reach for the trigger.
It's just a gun.
We were born to twin destinies, to tragedy, as the sisters were before us.
Oh, that's really cool that they acknowledge Kael and Morgana.
The moon is with us in darkness, but it is not there for us.
Wait, the moon is with us in darkness, but it's not there for us. Okay.
Senna,
Oh.
in darkness, we find each other.
I get that quote. Okay.
The Solari do not see.
Yeah, they're blinded.
We shine brightest with another's
Oh.
light.
Never mind. I guess the Lunari are brighter. Soraka?
knows our pain, yet tells us not to feel it, to deny ourselves.
So you guys explained a little bit in the previous reaction I did about Soraka. Essentially, she like gave up her immortality, right? That's all I know about her.
Our faith will be tested.
This is first encounter with any, okay?
We have no enemies, Aphelios. Only those fated to meet us in the night.
Ooh, I really like that one.
Not even she knew what she would do. That was why she was afraid.
Okay, there's something suspicious going on with Diana that I don't know about.
The heavens turned toward darkness. Now is our
You guys can let me know in the comments about Diana if you want, or we can wait till I do my reaction to her.
When you shine, the moon can worship. You did well, Aphelios.
When you shine, the moon can worship.
They are motes of dust, shimmering in moonlight.
Okay, these lines are kind of picking up. Alune's getting into some crazy voice lines
A
here.
prayer for their souls, torn from the night.
I like what they did with like the spirit realm kind of voice.
To make a life of death, you do what you have to, brother.
Okay, a pentacle.
Mother Moon, guide them.
Mother Moon. Low HP.
Careful, Fel.
I like this nickname that she gave him, Fel.
Fel, you hurt.
She really cares about her brother, and that's awesome that they like,
You will not suffer in silence.
you know what I mean? They did voice lines just for this scenario
Blood upon still lips.
to show how much the connection is between brother and sister here.
Only one of us is safe.
And it's her.
We bleed when we cannot cry.
We bleed when we cannot cry. Okay, respawn.
Out of darkness, the moon is born anew.
Okay. Obviously, lots of moon quotes and voice lines.
I will not let you die.
She changed her voice in that one. You could tell she was more stern,
Faith,
serious. Faith, brother. Yeah.
as darkness falls, the moon rises.
Yes. Okay, I kind of like that one. It's pretty good.
They still call you fiend when they die, looking in your eyes.
Okay, so we're doing
They see the savior I see, Aphelios.
and we're doing Nightbringer Aphelios. Interesting. I don't know the difference with the Nightbringer one.
We're meant to hate each other, but we will show them all, wicked and divine, that we are stronger together.
Yeah, definitely like the skin in game too.
Order fights for light, chaos fights for darkness. In
Right.
the moon, we have found both, a way to survive.
Chaos and order, a way to survive. Okay. First moves.
Aphelios, I hear you. I know what you sacrifice.
I hear you. I know what you sacrifice.
Even from across the celestial veil, I will be with you, brother.
Yeah. They really care about each other. And miss each other.
It always starts with pain. We can only do this together, Aphelios.
No pain, no gain? Is that what she's saying here?
Your life upon the altar, brother. I will not betray it.
Your life upon the altar. I will not betray it. Like, meaning she's going to keep him alive as best as
With
possible.
every step, 2 steps. With every breath, 2 breaths.
Yeah, I do like that one as well. It's 2 people within one, really.
Even when the moon is new, it is there. A whisper to the shadows of your soul.
Whisper to the shadows of your soul. She's got some interesting quotes that I don't
It
quite
is as the
understand.
moon revealed, Aphelios, as beautiful.
So if you
as
guys
terrifying.
have anything to tell me in the comments, let me know.
Our path is set between the last breaths taken by our enemies.
Path is set between the last breaths taken by our enemies, yeah? Okay.
You will make death more than death, brother.
What is
You
it?
will make it holy.
Holy kills, okay.
We cannot touch the moon, but its light can touch us.
Yeah?
Shouldn't that be enough?
You would think.
On our fingers.
See, like that quote there, is there more to it?
Without
You know?
pain, we would not need faith. The moon would not need us. We would not need each other, Aphelios.
Okay.
The fortress is quiet.
Okay, that's referencing where
If
she's
only
at.
you could be here, Fel.
Yeah.
You would make this stone seem loud.
Okay, that's her just, saying she wishes her brother was there with her.
Pain is what awaits us in the darkness, brother. We must run to it, unafraid.
Okay, so there's a few quotes about like pain and running towards it and like no pain, no gain, essentially, like I said.
What we must do. I envy the ignorant.
I really like that one.
The Solari call us heretics. But when darkness comes, brother, they will need our light.
Oh, I like that. I love that.
You cannot feel the tear running down your cheek.
Oh,
I cannot wipe it away.
oh. That's interesting. That was an interesting one.
Our thoughts touch.
Does he not feel
Close.
pain? He has to.
Which of us am I?
Which of us am I? Wow, yeah, which thought?
The fortress looms around me. It is everything. It is the only thing.
Yeah, it's the only thing that you can be in, right? Spirit realm.
You make yourself a weapon so you do not have to feel.
Mm-hmm.
But you are not a weapon. You are my brother.
Oh, that's nice. I mean, he can be both.
Fel, you've made every movement 1,000 times.
Okay.
Until you bleed. Until you do not have to think.
These are so interesting to me.
Pain makes you numb. But
Okay.
I can still feel, brother.
Okay.
I know the truth that pain hides.
Huh. Like that one. What? Okay, I have to pause. Like that quote. It's very interesting. I don't know if there's more to these that I'm missing or if it's just a lot of like I don't want to say gibberish, but gibberish between Alune and Aphelios. I don't know.
I see further through the celestial veil. What we call truth is shadow. Weapons aimed by destiny.
Okay, so now we're attacking. There are attack voice lines.
You have bled, so they will.
That's a good one.
Every movement a ceremony.
That's also a very good one.
It ends in silence.
Yeah.
Until night is everything.
Hmm.
They orbit their end.
They orbit their end. I don't know if I like that one as much.
You are the moon's eclipse.
Oh, okay. That's a good one.
No thought moves your hand.
No thought moves your
This
hand.
will be your voice.
It is, yep. That is his voice.
Your fight echoes even here.
Okay.
I send you light.
Okay.
In your hand from my heart.
Your hand from my heart.
The power of your belief. Soul and skill converge. Through sacrifice, all things.
There's kind of like the no pain, no gain thing again.
By light, the moon speaks.
Okay.
Believe, Aphelios.
Believe. Just straight up believe. Huh.
A reckoning in stone.
Reckoning in stone. What does that mean?
We hide no longer. Night embrace you.
Night embrace you. I feel like somebody else has that quote, no? Interesting. All right, let's roll it back, folks. Okay, so we didn't have too many interactions with other people. Let's go ahead and get into those first before I go more into her, well, I guess, Alune and Aphelios' voice lines here. Okay, so we of course have the aspect at the beginning. We got the one voice line with Yuumi. So Yuumi visits Alune in the spirit realm, which is nice, and just snuggles up while she's reading a book and she's bored and stuff. So that's very cool. We have so there's a lot of mystery around Diana that I've learned from Aphelios. So I don't know the actual order of when these characters came out, but I presume Diana's older, probably much older than Aphelios. I don't know. It seems like Aphelios is maybe like 2019, 2020-ish when Aphelios came out. Diana is probably before that. She seems like, okay, so yeah, there were some questions there, even from Alune. Why is she fleeing? What is she running from? What has she done? And then, you know, in the story that we've read, that Aphelios had to kill this barbarian that had the blade that Diana currently has, or does Diana usually have two of these and she's missing the second one? I'm not quite sure. So there's a lot of mystery there that I was kind of interested in. I did like the little nod to Kayla Morgana and saying the twins that came before us, because Kayla and Morgana are very old and very well known by a lot of people, but they were also twins that were like destiny born, very much so like Aphelios and Alune with the Lunari and everything like that. So I thought that was a really cool nod. And of course, we've already done a reaction on Kayla Morgana, and that was a really fun one. And then so we have the low HP quotes and voice lines that we got. Again, this really reiterates to me, which I've already learned from the story and biography, but like, you know, the connection between the two, you know, the sister and brother, the twins, is very strong. They very much care about each other. They very much miss each other. You know, Aphelios is very saddened for the fact that he can no longer see his sister, but she's really technically still there with him, and I'm sure that's why he always wants to have the Noctum flower power or whatever inside of him. And you know, he loses the ability to talk in that way, but he's able to be with his sister, and she's able to actually help him out and be a weapon for the Lunari. So again, yeah, just these voice lines just show really like the great connection between the two twins here. And then there was a lot of, like, I would say like almost half of the quotes were a lot of Alune saying like moon related things that I didn't quite understand if there was more meaning to them. So please let me know in the comments, you guys, if there's anything. So like this example in front of us here, we cannot touch the moon, but its light can touch us. Shouldn't that be enough? Is there more to it? Is it like, you know, should that just be enough for our faith to stay strong or something like that? You know what I mean? I don't know exactly what this quote is exactly supposed to be telling us. And maybe not every quote or special interaction or voice line is supposed to say something impactful. Maybe they're just supposed to be fun little voice lines that the characters have, right? So maybe I'm just reading into them a little bit more. But, you know, with other champions and things in the past, almost every voice line has meant something. So I'm just kind of really diving into it, you know. That's going to do it for our Aphelios reaction, everybody. I thought this was really fun. He's a really cool character. And I mean, this is a case of where it's not really Aphelios just alone or Fel. It's Alune and Aphelios, which is something I totally did not know. You know, the twin sister is practically the same thing. She's practically the weapons. I'm just gonna say she's the weapons that he ends up using, even though she's just like summoning them for him essentially. You know, this is basically two characters that we reacted to today, and she's the one that's also doing the voice line. So it's really like we only reacted to the physical body of Aphelios and the skins and things like that and the story, but really Alune is kind of who we also did a reaction to today. I will say, you guys, if you want to give me a recap or anything on the Lunari, the Solari, like anything like that, otherwise I can learn about them on my own, of course. But, you know, if you guys can give me like 3 sentences or maybe even just a small paragraph of like, why have the Solari exist, or when did the Solari exist? When did the Lunari exist? How long have they existed in Runeterra? You know, why doesn't everybody, you know, worship the Lunari or Solari or the moon and the sun? Why is it only in like Mount Targon and not in, you know, Demacia? Well, we know why not Demacia, but, you know, in other places of Runeterra, why is it only solely in Targon? You know, I don't know. All kinds of questions I have about the Solari and Lunari. All right, everybody, thanks again for watching the reaction. I appreciate any feedback, and let me know in the comments who I should be reacting to next. We do plan on reacting to every champion at some point in League of Legends. You know, they keep adding new champions. I know we have like a vampire character coming up pretty soon. We still haven't done a full reaction on Neferi yet, but we will get to that eventually. Please consider subscribing to the channel. We have a bunch of other League of Legends reactions you can check out on this channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.